If you've played any MOBA before, you probably noticed that unlike other more conventional competitive titles, snowballing is a massive part of the game. For example, getting first blood in League of Legends usually tilts the whole dynamic of laning and allows the victor to build upon that advantage. This in itself would be a problem because games would resolve in the first few minutes. That's why clever developers developed a feature known as bounties. Dota, League of Legends, and Deadlock all have their own bounty systems in place. Deadlock, however, has an additional system in place in the form of unsecured souls. Unsecured souls accumulate from doing jungle camps and slowly turn into secured souls. This means that turbo farmers usually carry around life insurance money between farming runs. This whole mechanic forces players to play smart and not engage in fights after farming, but what if the fight came to them?
Hello.
In the August major update, 6 brand new characters were added. Among them Drifter, a nameless vampire roaming America, killing as he pleases, said killing being his main motivation to take part in the ritual. Which is weird considering that vampires are usually treated as the bourgeoisie or the upper class of society, especially vampires like Drifter who have lived hundreds of years. Drifter is a great pick if you want to do this without doing this. The main strong suits of Drifter that I found are the following. Drifter has insane scaling while still being very good in lane. His basic attacks are the width of a school bus. He has a built-in wall hack, CC in the form of death, and if that's not enough, he can make you blind. Running away from Drifter is a lot like running from the IRS. You might be making progress until he teleports behind you with the fire rate of an A10. Drifter's 1 is a slash that deals melee and spirit damage and gives you 45% lifesteal against affected enemies for 4 seconds, which is the equivalent of more than half of the lifesteal that Vampiric Burst gives you at half the cooldown. That's almost 6k souls of stats for free. His 2 is a skill shot that applies a small bleed, teleports you behind the enemy, and gives you a small fire rate buff. Now, his 3 is the whole reason I'm making this video. It's a multi-part passive. Isolated heroes leave behind a trail that you can follow and give off an audible heartbeat. This makes hiding and catching Drifter off guard completely impossible. It also gives you a 15% amplified damage against isolated heroes, and on top of that, each isolated kill gives you 5% extra weapon damage permanently. Further upgrades make you from being hard to escape to being inevitable. Level 1 you get an additional 2 meters per second move speed when near isolated heroes. Level 2 you get basically an ability refresh. Level 3 you get an extra 10% damage against isolated heroes. You see a lone Drifter in side lane. He's behind in souls, so maybe you can kill him. Only to get steamrolled because he has the equivalent bonus weapon damage of Glass Cannon without the debuffs at 25 fucking minutes. If this ever happened to you, you know that your only choices are to either fight and die or run and die slower. Lastly, his ult. It doesn't seem too broken at first glance. It surrounds up to 3 nearby enemies in darkness, making their visibility basically non-existent. It also gives Drifter some bonus spirit damage per proc, and if running away from him wasn't hard enough, he gains another 3 meters per second move speed buff. Now, imagine this. You're Vindicta or Talon, soaring up in the sky in the backline, and suddenly, a homeless man jumps in. Then, darkness. Not only are you out of commission if you're not holding hands with your front line, but your team won't even know where you are to help. All that while this homeless crackhead with this static expression on his face throws STDs at you. Or this, you're farming in the jungle and unbeknownst to you, a Drifter has caught your gamer stench. You notice your health bar quickly disappearing, but your friends will come help you, right? They would if they could see anything around them. To trigger the isolated status, the victim has to be at least 25 meters away from his closest teammates. That, however, doesn't go both ways. God forbid a drifter has a duo, especially a support duo. Over the course of the map, you'll notice your team staying away from the frontline camps more and more. So, if you couldn't tell already after everything I said so far, Drifter is a snowballing demon, but he heavily leans into the high risk, high reward gameplay, so he will either end up a regular, weak, homeless man or a homeless man on crack. If you made it this far, please consider liking the video. If you're feeling extra generous, maybe even subscribe. I also stream on Twitch a few times a week, in the description if you're interested. Whatever the case may be, thank you for watching and stay tuned.